welcome to Otley in West Yorkshire. Today we're looking around this small market town in the middle of the hillside in the Wharfedale Valley. So it's a lovely market town, 14,000 people live here, lots of visitors. People come for the nice countryside around the hills, Otley Chevin, the history that's here, going back to Oliver Cromwell's time, the Wharfedale printing press, and lots more to see. So come and have a look around Otley. Here we go. The name Otley comes from the word Otto, which is a Saxon personal name. They were big from 500 up to 1066, and Leah, L-E-A-H, a woodland clearing. Chevin, the whopping great big hillside in Otley, the word Chevin comes from a Celtic word meaning sharp pointed ridge. This tour we're starting off walking around these lovely little streets where there's lots of independent and small shops operating. Let's find out a few other facts while we're doing this. So what is Otley's link, do you think, with the House of Parliament? The foundation stones for the House of Parliament came from a quarry at Otley Chevin, where the foundation stones were hewn. Otley doesn't have a train station. It closed down in 1965, after just under 100 years. In fact, 2 weeks under 100 years. I think it's a bit mean of Dr. Beeching not to let them have their 100th birthday party. Otley was a booming place back in the days of the Industrial Revolution. The mechanisation of the textile industry led to mills using steam power from the River Wharfe. Let's go and have a look round the rest of Otley now. No. This here is the Black Bull, the oldest inn in Otley, reputedly drunk dry by Oliver Cromwell's troops who camped outside the town on the eve of the Battle of Marston Moor. Yeah, that's what that says. We're here in Otley Marketplace. Just up ahead here is the Jubilee clock, which we're going to have a look at now. It was built in 1888. Let's go and have a look at it now. So this clock was built in 1888 and cost... how much do you think it cost? £175. That's all that cost. And it's dedicated, there's 2 plaques on it. We'll find now. Here's one for in memoriam of those who died in the Transvaal War. What's the Transvaal War? It was the Boer War, 1880 to 1881, and then it carried on to 1899 to 1902. So there's that one. And we've also got this plaque here, presented by the Belgian refugees who received hospitality in Otley when they came here in World War I. So here is the Otley Jubilee clock. So even a Sunday morning here in Otley, in early springtime, there's people about, there's shops setting up, there's people going about their business, there's people driving through the town, there's people who want to come to Otley. You too should come to Otley. It's good. It's not just old traditional market town stuff. There's modern bars, botanic and well-being, and also Wetherspoons. Who'd have thought? Good stuff. A nice, quiet, peaceful memorial garden here. Lovely flowers out there. People just taking a moment to sit and reflect. Hey up, it's the Old Cock. Award-winning pub. The Old Cock. This here is the Otley Maypole. You can tell you're in a quintessentially English, nice place whenever Maypole. So many of these grand old buildings in Otley. Look at the stonework in these. You've got the Old Swan, 1901 there, to the Otley Methodist Church over here. Look at the grandeur and the size of this. So this is Kirkgate. You can hear the church bells ringing in the background. And we'll go near there to have a look round in a moment. And here we have Otley Parish Church. Going to have a look around the outside of it now. A place for everyone with Christ at the centre. There it is. Otley Parish Church. Whilst visiting Otley, John Wesley's horse sadly died in May 1782. His horse is buried in this graveyard. It's known as the Donkey Stone. That cross we saw on the hillside earlier on the Chevin is the Chevin cross, and it's put up for a month each year from 2 weeks before Easter to 2 weeks after Easter. Impressive stuff. Next to the church is this road here, Church Lane. It's cobbled lane. There's an interesting little house on the right coming up. This is number 10, Downing Street. Who would have thought? There we go. And we have something else interesting up here. This is the Navvies Memorial. When they were building the Bramhope Tunnel, which runs on the Harrogate line between Horsforth and the Arthington Viaduct, they had to cut 2 miles of track through the hillside. So this memorial commemorates all those who were injured and lost their lives. The Navvies Memorial. And this is it. It's an amazing tribute to those who helped create the railway line going back all those years. And it's a nice tribute, a memorial to those who worked on it and lost their lives or are injured in the process. So this is the Bramhope Navvies Memorial. Here on the side of Fulton's shop is a window artist, Jenny Tribillon. That's the view from Otley Chevin. Next to that you've got the Butter Cross, and then Jubilee Clock, and then the hillside next to it as well. Who are Wiegmans? Who are they? They are the sausage people. Here we have the Chippendale Centre. Calm down, women, it's not what you think. This here is where the world famous Thomas Chippendale, cabinet maker, was born, 1718. Let's go and have a look more. And this here is a statue to remember the life of Thomas Chippendale. But interesting fact about this statue, nobody knows what Thomas Chippendale looks like. There's no paintings or obviously photographs of him back then, so they built this statue based on what the reports of what he looked like was, but the facial features were actually the sculptor's brother-in-law's face that they used, and that is the representation of Thomas Chippendale here in Otley. on his statue. There you go. Otley Methodist Church, Wesley Hall, named after John Wesley, who set up the Methodists. Otley's got so many pubs and bars for such a small area. There's quite a few churches in such a small space here in Otley. Lovely buildings. This is Our Lady and All Saints Catholic Church here. And another church here, the Bridge Church, the United Reformed Church, not far from the bridge. Next to the 7-arched medieval bridge here in Otley, we have the River Wharfe and a little park area which has an interesting name. Welcome to Tittybottle Park. Named because it was popular back in the early 1900s of young mothers and nannies bringing their children and babies to have a nice time next to the river. There we go. Tittybottle Park. That's impressive mosaic. 10 years old, 2014. Very nice. It's a magnificent looking bridge. Water level quite high. So along the side of this bridge, a lot of lovers' padlocks. Some say it has a very Parisian feel to it with these padlocks here on the bridge. So often that's what happens in a number of the bridges in France. The River Wharfe. Quite a wide river in this section here. There's a weir further down. Let's go and have a look at that. We are going to have a look now. The homage to the Wharfedale press. So this here, a large scale Yorkshire sandstone sculpture, goes back to when printing used to happen in the town. Here's a Wharfedale machine. The first Wharfedale machine was produced in 1858 by David Payne. It was a stop cylinder machine with a travelling bed that could print 500 impressions per hour, and then by 1911 2,000 to 3,000 people were employed building these Wharfedale presses, and they got them up to performing to be able to do 1,500 impressions per hour, which is quite a lot back then. So that was invented in 1855, and one of these machines would have cost £60. Walk along the riverside now. Quack quack. So this is Wharfe Meadows Park. Wharfe Meadows Park was donated to the town by the Fawkes family, distant relatives of some guy. This here is a double polar mean time sundial, determined on vertical scale of months. From the point, draw imaginary horizontal line across the dial. Note where the line crosses straight edge of shadow. When this point coincides with a curved hour line reading, I can't read what it says, gives clock time. Wow. I think I'll stick to my watch though. We love a bit of dramatic water action on this channel. Look at it go! Woo! What I like about this is how dry it is in that section there. the way the curvature of the land is, and the rocks and the slope means that bit is dry. It's going to have to take a torrential amount of extra water to come flooding over the tops to get that wet. Wow. Then you have the peaceful river here up towards the bridge. See if this dude wants to be on telly. Hello mate, have you subscribed to Rich Lord Travels yet? Look at you, how beautiful are you? This guy's got his head in underneath. And it's time to wrap up now. We've been round Otley, we've seen what it's got to offer, we've seen the marketplace, we've seen the small arcades of shops, we've seen the parks, we've seen the river, we've seen up on Chevin, up in the hillside, we've seen the churches, we've seen the history, we've found a horse graveyard of all different places, and we've seen lots of different things going on here. I'm Rich Lord, you've been watching Rich Lord Travels. Don't forget to click subscribe. See you again soon. Bye bye.